Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode number 82 of Under Construction. I am your host, Ellis, 82? Otherwise known as Train. Did I say 82?
Yes, you did.
I meant 84. 82 is the missing episode. No, 82
no, 83 is the missing episode.
Yeah, that's right. 83 is the missing episode. 82 is the one that we're looking at the comments
I'm here
from.
to correct him.
Yeah. Whatever, it was a few numbers off. When you're up that high in the 80s, it doesn't really matter. It's only a couple of percent. That's what my engineering background tells me. Anybody, any old schmuck, this is an engineering thing, any old schmuck can build a bridge that doesn't fall down. Only an engineer can build a bridge that just barely doesn't fall down. See, the thing is, you have to make it cheap, or as inexpensive as possible, so it needs to just barely not fall down. But not actually.
So, you're gonna finish introducing yourself?
No, they know who I am.
Oh, they know who I am?
I don't know, do they? Who are you?
Madison, there we go.
Who is, what are you to me?
I'm a girl.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Glad you said that accurately and not like, I'm your wife.
Chris calls me your wife.
I'm your other girlfriend that your wife doesn't know about. I was reading stuff on Reddit, and someone was like, when my husband and I go into the restaurant, he'll say to the waiter, like, hey, if you see my wife come in, don't say anything. Or, don't call me honey or sweetie. My wife is very jealous. Alright, so I need to figure out, I'm just painting this texture. I don't know why I grabbed this first. I don't even think I like it, but we're going with it. It looks almost too nice. This dirt. Oh, you know what? I should probably match it with whatever that is. So let me get my regular dirt. What is 1,000 millimeter ground? You know what? That actually is really, really close. That's really close to this. Look at that. Okay, it's not that close, but it's decently close. If you're out here, it looks fine. So we're going to be doing mostly textures around Mason Valley today. Nothing super duper special, but it's a big important step towards getting this route done. Another big important step is to copy paste trees all over the goddamn place, but I can't do that on a camera without risking crashing the game. Boy, I can't wait for 29, because Tane is Tane, and sometimes it just doesn't like certain things, like copy pasting lots and lots of trees. So I don't do that on camera, because it's perfectly fine if the game crashes when I'm not recording, because then I can just start it back up and pick up where I left off. But if I'm recording, well, now I have to deal with, I have two pieces of footage. One of them's going to be corrupted because it ended suddenly, and there's going to be a giant gap in the middle of the two. The most recent episode of the Zombie Train that I put out, well, no, the second most recent episode, because of the one that I forgot to put out, this happens in it. I am halfway through doing a route review, and the route crashes the game. I don't think it was the route's fault, but the game crashed, and so I had to go back into it, and meanwhile I'm still talking, I'm still giving my review, so it's just really disjointed. There's like 10 minutes of a black screen while I boot the game up again, including the footage that was actually just straight up lost, because the game crashed, and then the recording ended suddenly. You just lose footage. It's annoying. It's not great. But, the things I do for route review.
So you think a haunted train's gonna come on these tracks?
Yeah. Oh my god, what was that? Okay, speaking of route reviews, right, and haunted trains, we did a route building competition a while back, and I say that because, well, that's non-specific. All of the route building competitions we've done were a while back. It's been a really long time since we've done one of those. They're super entertaining, though. For me, because I'm not stressed out, because I'm not the one building. For everyone else, they're super stressful, but, I don't care.
Just like working, if you're not the one working, you're not stressed out.
Exactly. I don't know, it depends what you're doing. If you're driving through a work zone, it can be pretty stressful. Been on 610 lately?
Oh, yeah. It's not that stressful.
So, I just drove up to, near where Tony's shop is, so that I could get something with one of my coupons for thingy, for food fights. I got it at Providence Bagel. Really good. Really good.
Yeah?
Yeah, they actually might be my favorite right now.
Better than the
Tilly's.
place that said we're going to be your favorite?
They all say that. Which one? Well, the only one you were with me at was Feast.
Yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, Feast is not as high on my list as it maybe should be, because the thing with Feast is that...
You got a burger?
Yeah, I got a burger, and it wasn't really that memorable. Like, it was good, but it wasn't like, wow, this is an amazing burger.
I mean, you were like that while we were in the restaurant.
Yeah, but
like,
it didn't.
Holy
It didn't
shit,
leave
it's
an.
amazing.
It didn't leave an impression on me. I've had better burgers. I haven't had a better burger from like IHOP, for example, but I have a better burger at like BJ's or what's another place where I go just for their burgers?
Burger King.
No, I don't go to Burger King. No, like Johnny Rockets. It was like on par with a Johnny Rockets burger. And Johnny Rockets burgers are good, but they're not like Burger Place burger good. Chomp. Chomp is a good burger. And what I can't wait for is like next month or the month after when it's the burger one.
Feast will probably be on.
Feast, yeah, we know Feast is going to be on there because they had the plaque on their wall that they won 2 years ago. Maybe that isn't a guarantee, but, you know, it's a pretty good indication.
Jersey Mike's is good.
Jersey Mike's is good. I mean, it's still a sandwich shop, but... Okay, hold on.
And that's something... I was with you for Jersey Mike's, so...
That's true. That's true. Yeah, but that doesn't count, because we go to Jersey Mike's all the time.
Jersey Mike's is good food.
Okay, I'm not going to argue about that, but...
I was telling them.
Okay.
Jersey Mike's is good food. If you're ever around, go get some.
Yeah, it can be hit or miss. It's good, but it can be hit or miss.
So I saved up a lot of points.
See, she's biased because she's invested in the point system. She can't give an accurate review of Jersey Mike's. I think I'm just going to give these buildings dirt lots. So, I found a thing... Oh, you know what? I was going on about the ghost train, right? So, Eric from the group, Lunar Guard, he's been on the podcast about 1,000 times. So, people should know him by now. He was actually on the most recent podcast. So, if you don't know who he is, go look that thing up. He made a route for the route build competition, which included a ghost and a ghost train. And the entire route was Japanese, and there's a reason I have a bunch of drivers now that are just anime people. You know, I can never escape that, honestly. I still have the C-62 that he used for the ghost train. It was spooky. And he also used it in the most recent Locomotive Versus. So it's like, I remember you. I'm acquainted with you.
I wonder what steam engine that was. We were watching Achievement Hunters, and there was a steam engine in the thing.
Achievement what?
Hunter.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was...
I wonder what engine it was.
Do you remember where it was?
Louisiana.
Like, more specific?
No.
Okay.
Do you remember?
It was at some sawmill. I don't remember. I was wondering if you remembered. You can almost certainly just look it up on, you know, on the website and just see the episode, and because it'll say the name of it. But, you know, I was dismayed that nobody climbed up on the damn thing. Although that might not have actually been a picture taken there. It might have just been just been an engine. One of them looked like the engines that are up in the woods in Maine. So, I don't know. I don't know if there's actually still a locomotive there. Either way, I'd love to check that place out because it looks really cool. Although apparently, at least according to what we watched, it is in fact haunted. Because Jeremy got some sick scratches on his back. Slightly terrifying.
I wonder if they watch this. If they watch this, we mention
What, the Achievement Hunter? Or the Achievement Hunters?
Yeah.
They're not... no.
That'd be funny.
Listen,
if
you guys do watch this, you should do like a Let's Play in War Thunder. That's what you should do. I would love to see that.
Leave a comment on their YouTube.
I mean, I could leave 1,000 comments on their YouTube, and they probably would never bother to do that. If you sponsor them, however, they definitely would. I don't know how much it is to sponsor an episode of their show, but they do get like corporate sponsors. They usually games. Game companies like Ubisoft will sponsor something in one of their games. All of their Rainbow Six streams are sponsored by Ubisoft.
So
but
like,
they also get...
You'd have to say, What do you mean by sponsor them? You don't have any. They can't sponsor them.
I could make something up.
You're not a company. We
Ellis,
could have the
Ellis,
sports
Temelli-
zone.
Ellis Temelio's butt cream.
You know, he's a dragon that hoards butt cream.
I'm only thinking of that now because that was like the first thing that happened in the last episode with you on it.
He's a dragon that hoards butt
They
cream.
heard you the first time, I'm
yeah,
sure.
well, I'm gonna say it again. He's a dragon that hoards butt cream.
Not
You
anymore,
have, like,
my butt's okay now.
Yeah, but you still have like 5 bottles
Yeah, just
of
in
it.
case. And they're tubes, not bottles.
I love him.
You're a weirdo.
Because I love you?
Part of the reason. Hi.
Hi.
Okay. This is gonna take 6 ever because that's how long these things take.
Or 8 ever.
You can just keep ratcheting the number up, honestly. My roommate introduced me to saying 5 ever, and now I've upgraded. Now I'm better than that. Now things take even longer.
So you're not better, you're worse.
Well, it doesn't... I mean, you know, sometimes going quickly isn't a good thing. You know. She missed that. Oh well. Okay, so we need to make this area look like marginally presentable. We also need some mud. Also, I kind of want to lower this a little bit more. And I want some pipe. Yeah, that's better. I'm here to lay some pipe. Bow chicka bow wow. Let me see if I just have a pipe spline. Give me the pipe. Some kind of pipe. Any kind. Pipe. Oh, concrete culvert pipe. You know what? That's actually much better than I expected, but it's way too big. This is worse than I expected and way too small. I need to find a third one that I can put down and be happy with so I can be like, and this one is just right. I think that's as big as the other one. I just kind of want to say it for the sake of it, but... Oh no! This one is just right. We're going to use this culvert pipe for a little area under here, and also I'm going to make it flat. Boop. And we do have some comments, despite the fact that last episode was forgotten about, and just posted as I'm recording this. I will summarily kind of be ignoring comments from that episode, but I will have to go back and, you know, sort that out later, because I don't want to ignore comments. I just goofed. I goofed. Use this height. Okay.
So,
And
you know, here's what you do, right?
What?
You ignore the comments from this episode, and you don't talk about comments, and next time you go and talk about those.
yeah, but I
endings.
like talking about comments. No, these people have been waiting. I should have talked about these comments, like, you know, 2 weeks ago. So they've been sitting here. What have I done? Oh no. That is an ever-present danger when you're playing with water.
You flooded everything.
Yeah, and what's worse, all the water's connected, so that flooded everything on the map when I did that. Oh, god damn it. This isn't attached to anything, right? Okay, thank goodness. This is probably the smallest water feature I've ever made. Alright, now I just need to make something else of that.
Alright, then what's comment number 1?
Alright, fine. Highball Productions, and this is actually a good question. Highball Productions asked, are you putting snow sheds on the narrow gauge, or is it not going to get that high? I'm glad you brought that up, Highball, because I forgot about the existence of snow sheds. And now that you've reminded me, they're definitely going to have to go on the narrow gauge, on the VMR, and probably on the Zion and Skyline as well. Because all those railroads are going to get high enough to find use in snow sheds. At least in the winter months, you know? Also, this road is hovering. I don't want that. We need this tool in the spline menu to fix that. A tool that I didn't know existed for a very long time. And I spent a very long time adjusting the ground underneath roads by hand, which took 7 ever. And you can go back on really, really old Zombie Train videos and see that, or not even, pre-Zombie Train. You can go back on Trainman Plays Trains 2006, or whatever it was called, and see me adjusting terrain by hand underneath railroad track that I could have just used that for. And then, of course, I totally overused it because I'm not sure if I invented, because, you know, lots of people invent the same thing, but discovered / invented the concept of terrain tracks and just started using them everywhere.
I remember your first episode of the Zombie Train, like that 2-hour-long video.
Mm-hmm.
I showed that to all my friends.
Wow, I'm suddenly very embarrassed.
Why?
Well, I've actually talked about this a little bit, and we talked about this... When did we talk about this? We talked about this... Actually, it wasn't like a public thing, I don't think. It was in a sidebar conversation that we had after Monday's stream of SAR, where it was mostly Weibold and Dean and Milky and I. And Graham and Skirioshi were also there, but they weren't really part of the conversation. Talking about the state of the Horsemen and like character development going forward and script writing and stuff like that, which, as of me saying this, Weibold and I were just going back and forth for the show about his plans for the narrow gauge in the next couple of seasons. And also, I'm gonna change this slightly. That was too much delete. And you know, there's a lot of thought that's going on there about, you know, what do we do with these characters? How are they? You know, how should they develop? How can we best make the things that we want to happen, or want to have happen? You know what? I need a spline of an embankment. That's what I need. So I can just get like a dirt dam, basically. Also, I didn't check if we can use this culvert pipe. I'm going to assume that we can until proven otherwise. So, give me this, give me that. I would have taken her if she's going back and forth with her friend that wanted to get a ride somewhere, and I would have gladly said, "Hey, I'll do it," but she didn't ask me. So, nah.
I mean, you said you didn't want to put pants on.
Yeah, but she didn't ask. Like, if she asked me, I would have said...
She's not going to ask you.
I know, but she has my number, so she always could.
I know, but she never will. She doesn't even like asking me for rides.
Well, she could ask me because I liked you.
I'm talking to Paul.
Oh, good for you.
Yes.
Logan Paul. Not Logan. What did I make? I made like an edgy PewDiePie joke in a previous video, and somebody made a comment on it. I don't remember what the hell it was. I think I just like called him trash or something. So big oof. Now
you get to apologize.
No, my word means a lot in the YouTuber world, so, you know. I'm famous.
Said Ellis never.
Yeah. I just said it. You heard me. It's on camera.
Yeah, but you'd never say it elsewhere.
I'm famous. I am the best. Okay, so I need this water level. Although, maybe I should lower it even more. Let's see. Don't flood anything. Thank you. Alright. So, these trenches are going to be filled with that level of water? Yeah. It's like there was a big rainstorm or something. Yeah. Okay. I've made a very small water feature. I think it's good. It's Gouda. Wrong thing. I keep switching to tracks when I mean to switch to splines. Which, I mean, they're effectively the same thing, but tracks are tracks. They're built the same way. Alright. So we don't even have one over here because that's just the way that is. We need parking lot space though. So I think I'm gonna shift this building this way, use this area for parking lot, and then I just need enough room to get something in these doors. Yeah.
Remember, you can shrink the building, make them taller.
I mean, I can't shrink them, but I can raise them and lower them. I know that's what you mean. But if I could shrink things and enlarge things, I'd be playing a totally different ball game. That would be awesome. And I wouldn't use it for any inappropriate purpose.
Sure.
Well, I mean, I could take that giant push pin and make it normal size.
Do it.
No, I said, if I could shrink things. I can't. It's not something that I have the ability to do as a human being. I'm not Ant-Man. I am not going to kill Thanos by going up his butt.
It looks like that is...
Hovering?
Yeah.
Shh. Don't say that.
It's hovering.
No. I will fix it.
It's hovering.
I'm moving the gasometer instead. Fix that. Grab this. Just a little bit lower. There we go. Okay. And
Wait, because the other side didn't look like it was hovering. Now that's
no, this side's underground. Yeah, no, it's the constant battle that I have to wage between with buildings on slopes. You know.
So why don't you unslope it?
Because the ground is. I'm working on it. I'm working on that. Sensitivity high. And grab this height from right here. And let's use it. Oh wow, that's a lot lower than I expected. I don't like this anymore. I kind of would rather it stayed like the way it was.
What, hovering?
No, not hovering. The opposite. I'd rather it stay like that.
Why?
Because at least then, if you get... I can just make a parking lot here, and the cars will be able to pull off the road. Otherwise, the cars are pulling into a ditch. Like, into a hole in the ground. It's okay to me that these railings are a little bit too long. There's nothing I can really do about that. And I can't, cant the building up in one direction. So, this is fine.
It's a ramp for the cars to pull onto.
Yeah. Totally do that in Halo.
Not Fallout, because Fallout can't move vehicles.
Yeah. The only thing you've got are vertibirds. Which are really just reskinned dragons from Skyrim. Okay, so I need to get back to grass. And we need some grass. We need some type of grass. Although this seems to be fairly good patchy grass. Jer Mud 01. I assume that's Jer like Germany and not Gur. Gur. There's a Invader Zim joke in there somewhere. It's okay. You weren't raised on the good old days.
Nope.
Nope. I have Invader Zim on disc.
Why is that glowing like that?
Because it's kind of broken. Also because it's selected. But also because it's kind of broken.
Like your face.
Yeah, you're right. My face is broken. I apologize for my broken face. My name is Broken Face, and I care what you think. Okay, so, I'm going to do this. Although, I should, tone down the grass inside the military base, because we know the drill sergeants are like, you screwed up, go cut the grass with this pair of shears. For the entire base. And then go mop the rain and dust the dirt road. Because that's how things go. Okay. So, continuing with the paintage. This is just going to be on the tracks because the tracks are not used in here. Chris was trying to convince me to use the tracks in here. And I was like, yeah, but they're already disconnected. He was also saying, yeah, have them have some freight service. And it's like, it wouldn't make any sense. The Gilson Eastern can handle one freight customer on this, and it's right there. It is like a stone's throw from their actual track. So, there's no reason to have there be
a stone and throws it.
Yeah, there's no reason to have a a dedicated freight locomotive for the New Shoreham Tramway, and then make them interchange with the Gilson Eastern. You make that freight car change hands again when there's no reason for it. It doesn't need to. They can just go there and do it themselves.
What's the next comment?
At an hour and 6 minutes, I'll take your entire stock. I don't know what he's referencing. I'm sure it was a similar reference that I made. But I appreciate the timestamps, and normally I'll go through and I'll look at what the timestamps are referencing before the video, and I forgot to do that. So I apologize, Matthew Bacon. I appreciate the meme. I don't know what you're memeing about, though. I should know, because I made this video. But now it's 3 weeks since I made this video, so apologies. Apologies all around. Sorry, eh? You know, there's a law in Canada that apologizing at the scene of an accident does not admit fault. They had to make that a law. So you can, yeah. Canada, man. Oh, here's a fun game. If you look up Florida Man and your birthday and see what comes up. What the hell did I get? Oh yeah, Florida Man gets arrested for giving his girlfriend a wet willy.
So there's this new thing where you go and instead of your horoscope, it's your Florida Man horoscope.
Yeah, that's what that is. That's what that is. That's exactly what that is.
I'm gonna do it on my phone.
Do it. I want to see what you get for your Florida Man horoscope.
What do I type in?
Just Florida Man, and then for April 4th, yeah.
And then click on the link?
Well, and then just see what comes up on Google. Just see what kind of articles you get.
Florida Man 71 accused of repeatedly exposing himself at eateries placed on
house arrest, I think is the last word. Somebody said, I was looking through the Reddit thread of all what everyone had come up with. Yeah.
Alright, let's see my Florida Man story.
Oh God.
News.
I wouldn't want to bear witness to that guy. 71-year-old just whipping his dick out.
Florida Man, 71-year-old. Yeah, placed on house arrest.
Yep.
The 71-year-old Florida man, repeatedly accused of exposing himself at restaurants and bars, has been placed on house arrest after he broke his curfew just a few days after appearing in court due to the latest lewd allegations.
He broke curfew to take his dick out. A man, truly an inspiration. A man we should all inspire to be like.
Alvaro Pena Yepes. I don't know how to say it.
Alvaro Pena Yep, I think? I don't know. It's funny because he has Pena in his name and he was taking his Pena out.
He has been arrested at least 12 times since 2012, predominantly for lewd acts in public. He was arrested again earlier this month for additional lewd allegations while on bond for previous incident which Pena was allegedly caught exposing himself and masturbating at Duffy's Sports Bar in Almonte Springs.
Ooh.
On April 3rd, a judge ordered Pena to wear an alcohol monitor and observe an 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. curfew. But probation officers said...
Wait, an alcohol monitor or an ankle monitor?
No, alcohol.
Seriously?
Yeah, alcohol monitor.
The hell is an alcohol monitor?
I don't know. But probation officers said he visited at least 7 eateries after 8 p.m. between April 4th and April 8th.
How do they, okay. I'm not going to question how they know that. I feel like an ankle monitor would make more sense. But
he visited Rookie's Cantina in Longwood and Loggers Grill in Almonte Springs on April 4th. 2 days later, he was at Renaissance Plaza Shopping Center and Anthony's Coal-Fired Pizza in Almonte. On April 7th, he went to Pizza Hut in Almonte, followed by Tibby's New Orleans
but did he
day.
Did he take his junk out at all these places?
On at least one occasion, Pena was allegedly already drunk when he arrived and made lewd remarks toward a female bartender. One night, he was also reportedly hospitalized for alcohol poisoning. The curfew has since been extended to full house arrest. Doctors have reportedly blamed Penna's behavior on a series of strokes and dementia, and says there is no expectation that he will show any significant improvement in his condition.
Yeah, well, he should just be in a nursing home. Like, why is he allowed to walk the streets?
Alright, Ellis's Florida man story.
Yeah, the sad thing about that was the best one that I saw at first glance.
September 23rd.
And it also didn't actually occur on September 23rd, but it was the first article that came up. It occurred on September 1st.
Florida man challenge.
I want people in the comments to give me your Florida man horoscope so I can read them out on the next episode.
Which one do you want me to choose?
Oh man, that's not helpful.
No, it's the top.
Wait.
It's the top one.
Yeah, but that's just a thing about it. That's not.
Yeah, so it's this one.
No, that's the same. That's the same article. That's the same link. That's another link on the same thing.
There we go.
It's a. Oh my god.
Alright, Ellis's Florida man story.
And the headline is
Florida man arrested, accused of shoving women to get egg rolls.
That's pretty tame. That's not take your dick out in Applebee's.
A Florida man has been arrested after he allegedly shoved a woman when she wouldn't let him in the house to eat egg rolls. According to the
in
offense
her
report,
house. Her house, like you just
the
showed up
Milton
at her
Police
house.
Department. The victim stated 44-year-old Kenneth Johnson was drunk, and she told him she did not. What?
What?
She told him she did not want him in her home.
Okay.
The report says Johnson kept ringing the doorbell even after she told him she wasn't letting him in.
Like, did they know each other?
The report says Johnson wanted to come in and eat egg rolls that were in her house, so the woman told him she would bring them out to him. That's when he allegedly shoved her inside the door, the report said. The victim told him he needed to leave, but she would leave the egg rolls by the car, the report says. Johnson allegedly admitted to pushing the victim, but did state that she also had slapped him, the report says. Johnson was arrested and charged with battery. He was taken to the Santa Rosa County Jail and is being held on a $500 bond.
Never change Florida. You know what? I need to go all the way.
Oh, you know what? I want to see my mom's Florida man horoscope.
God.
Do you want to see my mom's?
Sure. Yeah, give me more Florida man. This is the Florida man show now.
October.
Yeah, no, I seriously, I want people's Florida man horoscopes. I want people to post them. Or at least, like, what the headline is.
Oh, great.
What? What's the headline?
Hang on. Florida man shoots Facebook Live video from inside the eyes of hurricane.
Oh, God. I think it's just I singular,
Wait.
but... Yeah.
Which one?
The first one.
So I did that, and then it goes... Hurricane Michael's aftermath.
Oh, okay, so it's just like a compilation article of stuff that happened during Hurricane Michael. Yeah, that's unfortunate the story isn't on its own.
Wait,
but
Hurricane Michael slams Florida, man killed, blah, blah, blah.
Man killed while filming.
Man killed in home by falling tree.
Oof. That's not even, like, necessarily really a Florida man thing. That just sucks. Like, he did it of no fault of his own. You know what's the realest Florida man thing? The fact that, like, 13 people have been killed by Bright Line trains in the year since they started operating. 13 people, most of which were just walking down the railroad tracks not paying attention.
Right.
Or ducked under crossing gates. Why?
What's
Alright,
Weibold's
anyway.
birthday? I want to see Weibold's. What's Weibold's birthday? Do you know?
Yeah, I do.
When's his birthday?
His birthday's November 5th. I'm almost ashamed to say this, but I only remember his birthday because it happens at a pivotal date in the zombie train. It's past crossing day, and I make a point of saying it in
Florida
the past.
man birthday challenge takes over social media.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. It's my favorite new challenge. It's the most wholesome challenge so far.
A new
You
viral
don't have to
internet
eat anything
challenge
stupid.
is all over finding out the weird
Okay, yeah, but
Florida
let's
man
find out
that
the
happened
links.
on
We
their
know
birthday.
what the challenge is. What are the links?
That was the first one.
Yeah, but we don't care about that. We know that already.
Okay, but that's Weibold's birthday.
That's
It
just
started on November 5th.
no. That was 6 hours ago.
Well, I'm sorry, but this is what it says.
Last time I checked, today is not November 5th.
Shut up. It's just not doing it.
Just scroll past all the junk
I
about
did.
it. Keep scrolling.
I did.
There's more than one page of Google, believe it or not. Nobody ever goes to the second one, but it does
November
exist.
8th.
Close enough. If Bible doesn't freaking have one.
Yeah, Weibold doesn't know. Wait.
Oh no, he has to have one. Come on. Yeah, there's one.
Okay, November 5th. Man set to plead guilty in wife's disappearance at sea.
I thought that said Sea World, and I was really excited.
A Florida man whose newlywed wife went missing at sea as the couple sailed off to the Bahamas is set to plead guilty to manslaughter charge in federal court. Court records
this is
shows
sad.
41-year-old Lewis Bennett will enter the plea Monday in Miami. The records show Bennett reached a plea deal with prosecutors in the May 2017 disappearance of Isabella Hellman. Bennett is a mining engineer with dual British and Australian citizenship. He had insisted he left Hellman on deck when he went to their cabin to go sleep. Bennett said he awoke when the boat hit something and Hellman was gone. The FBI says an inspection of the what?
What? It's a catamaran.
Showed
Catamaran. Yeah.
portholes below the waterline and had been opened, and damage to the twin hulls appeared caused from the inside. That's Weibold's Florida man story.
Weibold's Florida man story is legitimate murder at sea. Awesome. Great. I like the guy taking his dick out better. Okay, so here's the thing. We've got like a little beach situation over here, but I want to make the kind of beach that you really wouldn't want to go on without like a hazmat suit, because this is like...
Fallout!
No. Imagine just going down to a beach in Pawtucket. Like...
Okay, what's the next comment before we go into more Florida man?
What was your procedure for naming everything? Procedure for naming everything. Yeah, so I really just sort of make that stuff up as I go along. There is no procedure. It just all sort of happens. Pick this. I really need to make it like a glass one? Grass one. I need my grass splines. You know what? I don't want to go to Adams. I'm going to go down here. My splines are here. And it takes much less to load in Mason's Landing than it does in many other areas of the map.
Plus, there's no buying sheep.
Yet. Actually, yeah, there probably aren't ever going to be sheep here, which is nice. It's pleasing. Alright, give me this. Oh, ow, that's just crushing my ear. These headphones, right? The, like, foam parts of them, they end up just absorbing grease from my hair. And then I'll put them on something and they'll just soak through it slowly. Like, they aren't moist or damp to the touch. But, like...
So you should wash them.
Wash a pair of headphones. Yeah, let me just throw it in with the laundry.
No, you take a wet paper towel and you just, like, rub it down.
But then they'll be even wetter.
Yeah, but then you just blow dry them. Alright, give me another date for Florida man.
I don't know, pick somebody's birthday. That's what it's for.
Okay, we'll do my brother Brett.
Go on, like, the Iron Horseman address book and start pulling horsemen. Pulling birthdays from the group.
No, we'll do Brett.
Okay.
My brother is also named Brett.
Yeah.
March 6th.
I know that. I don't think they necessarily know that Wybold is, well...
Oh my god!
What?
Florida man high on Flacca has sex with trees and calls himself Thor.
Calls himself what?
Thor.
Thor. Because that's what Thor is known for. Not the lightning. The tree intercourse. As if they didn't have enough wood in them already.
You want to hear the story? Oh my god. Okay. A man high on Flacca attacked an officer, proclaimed himself God, and had sexual relations with a tree, according to a report.
I feel like that's not something I would do. Just because of one thing and one thing only. And that thing is splinters. And I don't want splinters in my junk.
Kenneth Crawler, 41, was seen running naked through some county community.
Come on.
Brevard?
Wait, where is it? I'm not seeing it. Yeah, Brevard.
County community.
You just sound
He
words
was
out. Come on.
Then stopped by Melbourne police officer and charged with resisting arrest with violence. Click Orlando reported. The officer used a taser, but Crowder, who pulled the electric ropes from his body, then punched the officer and tried to stab the cop with his badge, according to the report. The officer then punched the suspect, who said he was Thor.
For the record, I would just like to state one thing. Don't do drugs.
And that's it. That's all they have.
That's it. Well, that's all that you really need to know. Don't do drugs. Or else you will violently resist arrest and pull taser barbs from yourself. And hump trees. He's not a tree hugger.
Alright, I want to see my sisters, because it would explain a lot.
I don't think this explains much about you. It's like even less effective than a regular horoscope, and that's saying something. Well, what could this possibly predict? How you're gonna go out if you started to live in Florida?
Oh no. Stand your ground claim denied for Florida man charged in axe murder.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, stand your ground is like when you can defend yourself if somebody's breaking into your house. If he wasn't in his house, I feel like that,
I don't.
No, I need to know the context of this. Because, I want to know how you get a stand your ground claim denied.
Because he was involved in an axe murder.
Yeah, but that's what stand your ground laws are for. It's like, if somebody's coming at you or somebody's coming into your house, then you can use lethal force on that person. That's the law. But yeah, I'm wondering what was the thing here that got it denied. Oh crap, I just sunk the sidewalk way into the ground. Alright. I'm trying to get,
Alright, ready?
No. I will never be ready for Florida.
Okay. A judge on Friday denied a 22-year-old South Florida man's request to have charges against him thrown out in the 2015 killing of a Hispanic teen under Florida's Stand Your Ground law. Judge Samantha...
Well, that's ironic. Well, it's not ironic. It's very coincidental. The sister in question, the person whose horoscope this is for, is also Sam. So, Just for context for the audience. If you didn't say that earlier. I think you just said your sister. Either way, sorry, continue.
Judge Samantha Schosberg Fuhrer? Right?
What? Where is it? I'm not saying. Samantha... Oops. Samantha Schosberg... I guess...
Fuhrer?
Fuhrer. Not Fuhrer. There's only one R in there.
We'll say Samantha.
She sounds French, not German.
Judge Samantha on Friday denied David Harris' claims that he was defending himself and his younger brother Jesse Harris when the Jupiter resident
oh, Jupiter, Florida, right.
and the
That's
Jupiter
a town.
resident swung an axe and hit some guy in Spanish whose name I can't pronounce.
You could figure that one out.
Onesimo Marcolino Lopez Ramos. I don't know.
Yeah, Onesimo I think I would be Marcinello Lopez Ramos. Which, that's a name. Or Ramos, yeah.
It sounds like Esteban Julio Ricardo Montoya Rodriguez.
I don't know what that is.
You don't? Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. I'm going to show you the video later.
No, I'm fine.
18 in the back. So the guy was 18.
Sank.
He hit him in the back of the head in April 2015 confrontation. Harris charged with his younger brother and a third young man, Austin Taggart, had claimed that the three of them were headed to a park to smoke marijuana when they were confronted by Lopez Ramos, his older brother,
They admitted that in front of court?
and others drinking outside a home they shared. But he also told investigators after his arrest that Taggart had told him before the altercation that he wanted to go got hunting.
What?
What?
Gwat?
Yeah.
Gat? Oh. Gat? I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm not from South Florida. I haven't heard that term before.
A street term for robbing Hispanic men.
Oh. Well, I can understand why his claim got thrown out. Also,
And
wait,
despite
is weed
the
legal in
self-defense
Florida?
claims from defense attorney Franklin Prince, Assistant State Attorney Joe Richstone, in a two-part hearing on the matter, told Samantha that Harris had never made the self-defense claims at the time of his arrest. When the judge's ruling, Harris' case survives one of the first major tests of a shift in Florida's controversial standard ground law. And it goes on, but I don't want to read anymore.
No, this potential hate crime murder isn't, super enjoyable. It's, it'd be much more entertaining when it's on television and not something that happened to somebody. Alright. I'm making platforms out of sidewalks. There we go, now we have some tram platforms. Looks good. Thanks. Okay. We have some grass. We have some other stuff.
Let's do another comment while we're
Yeah. Alright. Matthew Bacon says, also my last name. And then a funny smiley face. It's because his name's Bacon. Yes, we all love bacon. What's that commercial?
There's one about Big Macs and
No, not that one.
Mickey D Classics. And so what do you guys think? Do you think bacon's the best thing that ever happened to the McDonald's Classics, or the McDonald's Classics the best thing that ever happened to bacon?
I definitely don't think the second one.
Bacon's the best thing that happened to the Classics, even though I don't eat McDonald's.
Yeah, no, it may have improved it, but it's like,
McDonald's is trash.
I could make some very disparaging comparisons here, but
Hashtag supersize me.
I already wasn't eating McDonald's when I was forced to watch that film, and it just made me not want to eat McDonald's more. At the same time, I still eat Wendy's, so it's not like it's, it's marginally better in my opinion, but I'm not sure if it's actually better. It's fresh, never frozen beef, though.
And I can prove it because I had a friend who worked at Wendy's, and he said it was actually not. He said it was actual fresh beef. He actually had to cut it, stuff like that.
The beef. Where's the beef?
Anyway, give me another.
It's square so that the patty hangs off the side of the bun. No, hold on. Actually, I want to come back around to this naming thing, right? So, Matthew Bacon asked me what's my procedure for naming things. I mean, if you can elaborate, I can tell you more, because it really depends. If we're talking about naming switch stands and track marks and stuff like that, it can be very arbitrary, but usually what happens is I do one with a full typed out version of the name, like Mason's Landing, Interlocking, North, blah 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 blah. And then there'll be a second version, which is whatever the other type is. Like if that was the switch stand or a signal, then the track mark would be ML INT, just abbreviated everything. So it really varies depending on what you're asking about, and it also varies depending on what order I've made, well, anything. So if you have something like more specific, I can talk about that. The thing with some of these things is like with the trains for the different railroads, I've used a different numbering system for every railroad, and I've done that on purpose. It is kind of hard to keep straight, but it's for the simple sake of, if you look at different railroads in real life, they all have different ways of doing things. Nothing is ever totally consistent. And I was trying to, best I could, emulate that by having these different railroads. What the heck was that? These different railroads do different things with the way that their numbering system and whatnot is put together. So I don't know. I was trying to keep things interesting, trying to shake things up. And yeah, just about every company, or every few hours, every couple versions introduces a new way of writing out things. Also, every different type of stuff introduces a new way of writing out things, because I'll always forget how I did it last time. And additionally, I have to keep things sort of shaken, not stirred, so that when I'm adding something like a track mark in the exact same position as something as a trigger, for example, I don't have two things with the same name, because then the game will disagree with my judgment on the way the world works. Speaking of the game's judgment, also,
doesn't like you?
It doesn't like me, but not Matthew Bacon, D.T. Cheney, or spelled out, no, D.T. Cheney 11, asks about AI, and he actually posted a comment about this in his, on his route review more recently, and I just read that and responded to it. And I will do my best to answer any AI questions. AI questions are maybe best asked during a Sunday driving style live stream, so that I can show stuff off and sort of walk through stuff and see if people understand. I think it might be smart for me to create an opportunity for like a teaching session, almost like a Train Man does Trains AI live stream, where I can sit down for a good number of hours and hash out any issues that people are having with AI in their routes and answer any questions that come up. I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. In fact, far from it. But I have done a lot of AI work on this route in particular, as well as in the past, and I have a pretty good idea of a lot of the ins and outs that the AI has, and the issues that they have, and ways to get around
AI
things.
always has issues.
Yeah, it does. But
there's a difference between CGI and AI, right?
CGI is computer-generated imagery, AI is artificial intelligence, so yes, very different. CGI is the stuff you see in movies.
Oh, that's right.
AI is a computer trying to figure something out. Not while I'm working. Not you. She's an AI. An AI. Cortana's an AI, as well. That's one of the other things. I don't like this at all. I'm just trying to find. I'm trying to find some pavement. I can't find any good pavement. I have a million different types of grass, but I don't have enough asphalt. Like, this doesn't look... Well, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look bad, necessarily, but it really doesn't look good. Wow, I don't know why loading textures is one of the hardest things this game does. Come on, just give me something. Give me something. Concrete. How about it? Hey, that actually looks pretty good. What do you think? That looks like asphalt to you?
Me?
Yeah, you. There's nobody else here.
Yeah, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
This needs to be darker.
Yeah, I can't really fix that, so we're just gonna deal with this.
I mean, it needs to be black.
No, it could be older asphalt. Asphalt fades. It probably wouldn't be, but that's beside the point.
If you can add cracks in it.
Yeah, I wish.
Can you add dirt?
I can.
Cracks?
I'm gonna add dirt to the edge of it here, but the thing is,
That doesn't look good.
I can't get specific enough with the. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't. I can't get specific enough with the texture itself to like add a cracked area.
I mean, you could remember the stuff you used for gravel. You could put that on top of some of the areas.
Here.
You used stuff for some gravel in by the lake that we did.
Oh. It was probably similar to this. I don't know about that though.
Try it.
I don't know about that for this area. All right, I'll go grab it. Let's see what it was. I think I already had my hands on it, but okay, let's go to the heaving lake. Come on, let me in. This, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's this. I'm not sure about it.
As long as you can try and make it, you can have this one underneath it. It's a little darker. The one underneath it, it's a little darker.
Or this?
No, that one. The one selected.
This one. Okay, I'll see how it looks. We'll see how it looks. Where was I working? Over here. Past the other bend in the river. In the little warehouse area. In the big warehouse area. Let's see. No. No, because it just looks like gravel, you know? That's the smallest thing I can do.
I mean, yeah, but you see how light that is, and you see how light the other one was? The other one wasn't so light, so if you just go plop, 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 and don't darken it.
Yeah, you're right. I thought you said it needed to be darker, though.
I know, but that looks like faded asphalt.
It's not asphalt.
Or asphalt, or whatever it is. That looks faded. If it was new asphalt, then it would need to be darker, but that looks faded.
It just feels... Okay, I overdid it.
But you see what I mean? It looks good.
I see what you mean. It doesn't look bad. It looks better than the sort of homogeneous gray that I had before. Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad. I think it's a little bit too patterned. So I'm going to need to, I'm going to need to make that a little bit fewer and far between. The thing with doing texture is blending texture like this is not, to my knowledge, it's not exactly an approved technique, so to speak. It's not something that's typically done. I'm not sure if it's something that's typically avoided, but it's certainly not something that you'll see done in every route. People usually just look for whatever texture lets them get what they want to get.
Right. I mean, from this point of view, it doesn't look as great. But if you go and like look at it eye level, it looks great.
Yeah, and we're going to be down here.
Yeah.
Also going to probably put some cars, trucks in that lot. Maybe a couple of semi-trailers. I'm going to need a ton of those, actually. I'll need to go grab them from Olive and bring them over here. But that's for a little bit later. I'm going to get this texture down.
Let's see it.
Yeah.
As I'm eating a cookie brownie from Domino's.
I want that.
There's 2 left.
Yeah, well, you've eaten like 8 of them.
No.
I mean, you couldn't have, because that's not how math works. But I've eaten 2.
You have the other one.
Yeah. I was the one that wanted it. I was like, I'm craving a cookie brownie, and then by the time I get out of the shower, you've eaten the 3 largest pieces. I'm like, alright. Wednesdays I'm gonna have to get my own. And eat it in front of you. And be like, it's so good.
Do we want more Florida Man?
No, we're good. I'm good on Florida Man right now. There's a subreddit for Florida Man, you should know. Also, I was tempted to start up an Iron Horseman Reddit account, because we use this thing in Horseman Calls a lot called Rabbit, and it's like a shared web browser. So you can have a bunch of people log into it and share one screen of a web browser, and you can like take the remote and do stuff, and everyone will be able to see it. You know, not ideal if you're trying to like, you know, watch porn, but really cool if you're trying to like sit down and watch a video on Amazon Prime or on YouTube with somebody. Which is what it tends to be used for. In fact, we were doing like movie nights. Oh, you know what I should see? I should see if like Grand Budapest Hotel is on there. Then we can do that. I keep meaning to go by the library, because I go by the main Warwick Library when I go out to the Model Railroad. And that's open on Saturdays. So I can pick up a movie on Saturday if I go out there. But, you know, I need to catalog stuff.
Well, what's the next comment?
Don't care. Not doing comments anymore. Don't like them.
Uh-huh.
No, just kidding. In this version of Geiger Mountains, will the track layout be similar / the same? Please tell me there will be a lag city. Well, considering the fact that this entire map is lag city now, there certainly will be. There will be a lag city, and it will be called Geiger City. Not to be confused with the city of Geiger, which will be in the multiplayer route. But there, what?
I read one of the comments, like, before you read it out loud, and I just remember what he's referencing.
What?
The Frozen one!
Oh.
Honestly, Frozen is one of my favorite things, but
yeah, I addressed that last episode. Or not last, last episode. Well, technically last episode. No, it actually was last episode. What am I saying? I addressed that comment and Iser's comment last episode. These are comments that I missed, and that have accumulated since because there wasn't an actual way. Because I never put up.
He forgot to post the video.
I'm not sure if I forgot to or if something happened while it was being posted. I'm honestly not certain. You know, I could have forgotten. It wouldn't have been the first time, but with how my power source needs a new battery. Like the uninterruptible power source needs a new battery, and just other issues that have come up. Something could have happened. Something could have happened. I don't necessarily think something did, though. I think I did forget. But they're up now. But either way, don't post comments on that one. Post comments on this one, because this one's going to go up as soon as possible. But there will probably be comments on that one, because it's the most recent one, and that's just what people do. So I'm going to have a comment problem when this comes about. Here's something that I need. I need more fence.
I want to start coming on the show more often.
Oh, hey, my glasses.
You didn't know where they were?
I didn't not know where they were, but I haven't worn them since the summer because, you know, why should I be wearing them when I leave the house it's dark? And when I go home it's dark. Life sucks.
Life sucks, then you die. Hashtag Donna Grace.
Yeah. It's my, that's, you know, that's words to live by from Donna Grace. I always...
But...
What?
But no, I want to come on the show more often.
Why?
Because it's fun.
Okay. Well, you heard her, guys. You can now ask questions of Madison, and she might be around to answer them. And if not, it sucks.
Well, I will be living in a house with you soon.
Also true. Also true. That's definitely going to help out Flegel, because we need to get his damn lines. I feel so bad. I'm so thankful he hasn't pestered me about them, because I've wanted to do them with you, like physically with you, because there are things that I feel like need to be added to that script. Just one or two more lines that I want to just go back and forth with you, because, you know, who would have thunk we're in a relationship. We've got a little bit of chemistry talking back and forth. Also, is this building facing backwards? No, it's facing sideways.
I also want to start back up the locomotion thing.
Oh, really? Okay. I would like to do locomotion as well. You just made some viewers probably very excited, because people have been begging for locomotion.
Well,
and by people, I mean specifically Skiryoshi.
I mean, you were teaching me locomotion, and I sort of forgot everything.
That's fine.
So we can make a new map, because
I don't forgive you.
The map we made was awful.
Wow, rude.
I mean, you said it yourself.
I probably did. But they're all awful, to be honest. You know what needs multiplayer? Other thing.
But
you don't know what I mean by that. I don't know what I mean by that.
I want to get it on my laptop instead of the other one.
Transport fever. No, you wouldn't. We should be able to sort that out.
I mean, I sort of don't have a disk drive. The way you gave it to me was because of the disc.
Right.
So
Minor issue.
So I'd have to buy it.
I mean, we could probably figure something out. We could install it somewhere and then move the files over manually.
Or you can use the disc, and I can use your Steam library.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the reason why that doesn't work. And I'm not sure if this has changed since, but if memory serves...
Not even.
They're also hovering, but we're not going to talk about that part.
Why are they hovering?
Because they are. The thing that I'm not going to... Or the thing that I recall is that you could not use mods on a Steam install. And that means that we wouldn't be able to use a lot of stuff that we were using, which makes me extremely sad face. So
we'd have to play the game the real way.
No.
Oh my god!
No, it's not about playing the game the real way. It's about all that additional content that you get. As a side note, Graham, I think, in collaboration with other people, has started a Open Transport Tycoon server, which is OG Locomotion. It's Locomotion before Locomotion. So, that's a thing. Also, I could totally sink this into the ground and make it look even more dilapidated. I didn't even think about that. And somewhere, I'm gonna have Gavin tied to the tracks. Alright, we're gonna ignore the way this sort of jumps, because nobody's gonna look at this. I used your technique again. That is something that actually looks pretty good, I'm gonna be honest. I've come around. I was skeptical at first, because I'm not one for blending of textures. It's like crossing the streams, man. But it looks pretty good, and I might have to use it in the future. One technique that I actually really haven't used on this map at all, that I used to be totally in love with, is terrain tracks, and I brought it up earlier, but I just want to point out that after literal years of going to it for everything, I have not touched it. And I feel like it's a really, really good intermediate technique, and I've moved past it. I don't think it's a bad thing, and there are definitely situations where it's extremely useful to me, but I'm just not using it right now. I'm not in a situation where I feel like it's necessary to make that sort of almost like cheap and dirty terrain.
But would you want to start the Locomotion series?
I would, given time. I'd love to. Bonding moments.
I mean,
just like in Fallout 76, bonding moments.
We should make a Fallout.
I'd love to, but you need capture cards for that. because it's on the Xbox. I don't have capture cards.
Not if you... Oh, wait, can't you record it from your computer?
No. I don't have a way to record it.
If you hooked it up to your computer.
That's not how that works. There's no way to... I'm fairly certain there's no way to hook it up to the computer because the computer's not designed to take an HDMI input into here. You know, the monitor is designed to take a video input, but the computer's not designed to take a video input. So...
If we can figure out... I mean, can we get capture cards?
Hypothetically, yes, but they're like $150 a piece. For what? No.
For Fallout 76 live stream.
Yeah, but like...
That'd be fun, though.
Yeah, but then they get to see me at my saltiest.
I mean, you yell in my face all the time. Why can't you yell in their face?
Yeah, but that's just in Fallout 76. And I do yell in their face in other salty games like War Thunder. But that takes me to another level. Because, God, that game's frustrating. Especially when we're so bad at it. And I don't use chems. That's really my own fault. Next time we go into that area, I'm taking all the drugs. I don't care if I get addicted. I'm gonna get high as hell.
It's the only place he'll drink alcohol.
Yeah, in Fallout. It helps my carry weight, what can I say? It matters.
Do we have any more comments?
We do. Oh, right. You know what? I keep not going down trains of thought with regard to some of these questions.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine. I do that all the time anyway, whether you're here or not. So the thing with the Geiger Mountains is I can't totally replicate the track arrangement that the old Geiger Mountains had. One, because I don't totally remember it, and yeah, I know I have a visual record of it, but it's not that great, because guess what? Past me wasn't really that helpful with looking over the whole map at once. Also, you can't really look over the whole map at once in Trains 2000 and...
April Fool's Day joke.
Oh, God. In Trains 2006. It just doesn't... You can't zoom out that far. Which is problematic if you're trying to recreate an old route like that. The other issue with it is the fact that it doesn't make any sense. That route is... It was my first mega project. I don't even remember what I had built before that. Geiger Mountains is the oldest large route that I remember. Sure, you have things like the Junction or whatever, but most of the stuff I had done to that point in trains had been just fooling around and driving trains and trying to automate the existing routes. And fun, yes. Did it create a good product? No, not really. It didn't create much of anything. Especially, compounded by the fact that I don't have anything from those days at all other than videos. Dust and echoes, that's all that's left. Speaking of which, Master Chief Collection is coming to the PC, and boy, I'm excited. Not for me, but for everyone else that's going to get it and play with me. And by me, I mean us.
I'm being roped into this.
What do you mean you're being roped into this? We're already, we're through
Halo.
We're through Halo 1 and 2, and we're on to Halo 3.
But you should use this as an April Fool's Day joke, then you won't get fired.
I don't feel like I will. I don't feel like that'll save me. The thing that she's holding up, for the record, is a bar of soap shaped like a Hostess cupcake. And it smells like one, too. Allegedly. I haven't unwrapped it, but I want to leave it unwrapped on my boss's desk and see if he'll just take a bite out of it, not paying attention to the fact that it's soap. The thing is, I feel like that's really mean, and also I don't want to get fired. So, for now I'm just saving it until the day comes where I feel like I have enough job security that I can do that. No.
And use it.
No.
Yes, you said I could.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
At no point.
I said, I'll take it home. And you said, okay, fine.
No.
Yes, no, mine now.
No.
Yes.
Give me that.
No.
It's not yours. It is mine. You were going to take the balls home.
No. You said I could take this one.
No, we did not.
You didn't tell me I could take them. You said, no, I can't take
I know you couldn't. You can't take anything. Leave my stuff alone. God damn it, woman. It's like we're preparing for divorce already. you take half my stuff. That's how it works.
Fine, I'll only take one ball then.
No! Then they're useless.
Exactly.
I'm not Lance Armstrong, okay?
Just like one half of a couple is useless without the other half.
Right.
Now you just gotta figure out which one of us is useless without the other one.
Yes.
Maybe the viewers can tell us. Why don't you tell us, guys?
Oh, I think they know.
It's you.
Yeah. Okay, here's my issue. How is anything supposed to get around this side of the building? But yes, you. Let go. What are you doing? Wait a minute. I'm an idiot. Why didn't
Yes, you are.
Why have I been sitting on this possibility this whole time? So, the Geiger Mountains doesn't make a whole lot of sense, as previously established. But I have found some ways to justify some of the weirdness. And that, it's coming along. I've been working on a map, and I mean like a paper map
I'm
sort
sorry,
of thing.
hang on. Where did the cars come from?
Magic. I've been working on a paper map that is I've dubbed Tolbrand Plus. And it basically, the purpose of it is to show everything in Tolbrand that isn't on the original map. And by the original map, I mean the one that you see at the beginning of every video. The original map is fairly incomplete. It doesn't have any branch lines. It doesn't have any of the smaller towns. All it is the major main lines and the major... Well, I guess they're not all really cities, but the major settlements. The one that Preston Garvey sends you out to because they need your help. The other ones aren't on the map. And also the Geiger Mountains wasn't on there because I hadn't originally planned it. And so... Yeah, so that sort of... it led me to want to create this map that shows all the other stuff. All the stuff that the main map is missing. I am like a third of the way through making that map, and progress is kind of slow because I just do it in my spare time, and I also don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Because stuff on that map is... Well, once it's on the map, it's kind of set in stone, but I know I've already gotten a lot of stuff wrong. I know there are areas where I'm going to be redoing the map because what I've put down doesn't make any sense. So, I don't know. I've been going back and forth a lot on what to really do with that map, but in making that map, I have realized a lot of things about the Geiger Mountains of old, and I have thought a lot about the new Geiger Mountains, what it's going to be like, what it's going to entail. One of these things is the fact that the looped nature of the original Geiger Mountains really is hard to justify. And by hard to justify, I mean like I'm not able to justify it. So that means that the Geiger Mountains is going to take on a slightly different form factor from what we're used to back in Trains 2006. Is it still going to be the Geiger Mountains? Yes. Is it still going to have a lot of weird, interweaving, tangled rights-of-way? Yes. Yes, it absolutely is. If you are concerned about losing those, don't be. Is it going to have a loop? No. It's not going to have a loop. It's not going to...
Georgetown?
No. Well, we might have one of those. But...
I don't know what that is. I've just heard the name.
Yeah, I know where you've heard the name.
Weibel.
Yeah. We could go visit it at some point. It's actually a great ride. Weibold, he says his things about it, but, it's a good ride. Yeah, so, it will have a loop, it will not have a loop. By loop, I mean like the Providence Northern, where you can run around in a circle. Where you can let the train run and it'll just go around and around and around. The old Geiger Mountains had this, the new Geiger Mountains will not. And the reason being is it just doesn't make any sense, so I'm still on this because I can't get it to do what I want it to do. Alright, please give me one with the road on one side, thank you. Or the sidewalk. Please place it this way. Damn it. It's that 50-50 chance that you always get wrong. So I had to think a lot about what that railroad entails. If you are in, which this is Matthew Bacon asking this, so you're in the fan chat, I'm fairly certain. I remember seeing you there. At least I recognize your profile picture, but I know more than one person with that profile picture, so I sometimes get confused as to who is who. I apologize. The thing with that, or sorry, if you want to, chit-chat about it a little more, because I can't show it right now, just poke me about it, and I'll send you a copy of the current Tolbrin Plus map, thanks, which has, everything that I've done so far in it, as well as, everything that I've done on the railroad, and everything that I'm planning to do, and then some. It has areas outside of the map. Also, this looks really bad, but we're just going to go with it. Yeah, it has areas that are going to exist outside of Tolbrand, which is fine because the purpose is to show the connections that the railroads of Tolbrand make with other railroads and to other population centers. And it's not just to create a larger and more expansive world, but it's to give me a better idea of what I'm dealing with.
Nothing.
Yes. But the other thing is I didn't totally think all of Tolbrand through, and there are still a lot of holes in the lore. There are still a lot of things that come up, and I go, well, I don't know what's in the next town, so I don't know how I can figure out what trains would go there, I don't totally know where all the pulpwood goes, or where all the iron ore goes, or where all the steel goes,
You should take some of the grass out of
The road, yeah, I will.
Yeah.
That's just a leftover. This is being really finicky, so it's taking me longer than I...
It also doesn't mesh with the gravel or whatever you have down. The rocks. It just looks out of place.
What does?
The road.
Yeah. Oh well.
I'm just making
That
a statement.
yeah, but that part I really can't do much about. This area is going to get redone. This is me remembering that I have another option for a road here, and I'm going with it. Oh, come on. Come on, just let me... Oh, there we go. Is this a spline point for the track? Yes. Okay. So, I will do my best, or I am doing my best, looking at the world at large, looking at the world of Tolbrand and what we have planned and what we, what the future holds for under construction. I am doing my best to emulate the old Geiger Mountains track, but it's not perfect. It's not totally possible to do all of it. So, there will be instances where things aren't the way they used to be, but I'm trying to, I'm trying to get as much of that in there as possible without it being completely outrageous. Which the original Geiger Mountains totally was. It was really, looking back on it, it was totally just an AI playground and really nothing more. It wasn't trying to be a realistic route by any means. It was some doodles that I'd made on a single page of lined paper that I ended up keeping for several years because it had all of the track work written down on it. Which I then threw out as soon as I finished the track work in the Geiger Mountains, the original map, because I figured, when am I going to need this again? And then I lost the map. I promptly lost the map and was no longer able to get that track work. So, that's me doing my best. I could talk a lot more about that. There are areas in specific that I'm trying to recreate, but on the whole, I'm just trying to recreate the spirit of the Geiger Mountains. The sort of derpiness of the track work, the weirdness of the area, and the way there were a bunch of lines that sort of circled around one another and looped around one another and went over and under, and there won't be a bunch of ways to get everywhere anymore, which is one of the most interesting things that the Geiger Mountains had going for it. There were always ways to sort of sneak around and get in through the back way to any town, but that isn't really realistic unless you have an area with a bunch of railroads that were competing, which the Geiger Mountains very much isn't. So, again, if you want to look at what I have planned for the Geiger Mountains, which they are the one railroad that I have all of their track work planned so far, on that map of maps, on the Tolbrin Plus world map, hit me up. I'll send you the most recent version of the Tolbrin Plus map, and you can look it over and you can ask me as many questions as you want. And you can even ask a question about it in the comments, and I'll go on and I'll ramble on about it. And, I can sort of discuss my thought process, live on air. Or we can just go back and forth about it. It's one of the more interesting things that I've tried to do with this route, is to create that extended universe feel, because I never did that on any other route. I never bothered. And I think, all things considered, it's okay. I'm trying to factor in all of the ridge lines, all the terrain, all the rivers, all the lakes, everything, so that I am building a world that's cohesive. I'm building a world that has everything that a world needs, which is really important to me. To me, it's really important. And it's really important to build a consistent world. One of the things I hate that a lot of railroad builders and trains end up doing is they'll sort of just start building rivers willy-nilly without keeping mind to, well, where's the water going to go once it leaves the scene? Is it going to re-enter the scene somewhere? Is it going to flow, to an ocean that is miles and miles and miles away and it's never going to interact with my railroad again? Or did I build something in the way of it and now I have to have another river crossing over there? Because without it, the river would disappear into oblivion.
You missed a spot.
I do not miss spots.
You either missed a spot or you need to move the building over.
No, I'm not moving anything.
You missed a spot.
I'm filling them with a different texture. I do not... I'm like a wizard, never early nor late. I do not miss spots, I only just have spots I haven't filled in yet. That's the life of this map, in a nutshell.
It's too light.
So freaking much. No, you. Which side? Over here or over here?
Yes.
Okay.
More this side, though.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's okay because this is a lot more rundown than other.
I know, but
area.
I'm talking about that, like that specifically.
This spot?
Yeah, that specifically is really light.
Okay. Let me hit that one more time. Bip.
You see the difference?
No, I'm blind. Yes, I see the difference. Good catch. I think I will get right here. Also, it's screwing me up because there's the shadow of the building.
But you see, it's like really light.
Yeah. I'm mostly okay with that right now.
I had a good idea.
Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna try to use this grass as much as I can because I quite like it. Oh, you know what? There are two kinds of grass over here. There's the one I've been using and the one I accidentally grabbed. Yeah, huh. I didn't realize that. Okay, so we'll fill this in with this. And then grass it up. Things I can't wait for in Trains 2019. Top of the list is terrain scatter. Putting down
How many Trains 2019?
I already own it. I bought it a couple months ago when it came out, and I just haven't installed it yet. And the only reason I'm waiting is because I want to finish this in this game before I move on to the next one. So I'll finish this section of the route, release it as is, and then other people will be able to download it and play on it in this version of the game. Whereas if I move up now, then I'm leaving an incomplete version in this, in Tame.
So you're gonna stop Tollbrand.
Oh no, I'm gonna keep doing Tollbrand.
You're just gonna do it in 2019?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna finish this part of the route in Tane so that people in Tane can play this version of the route. Because once I move up, there's no going back.
Unless you make a copy?
Unless I make a copy, but backporting routes and assets is not an easy thing to do. It's not trivial. Most everything has like forward compatibility, or new versions of the game have backwards compatibility to all the assets and stuff. But if you're working on something in a newer version of the game and then try to open it in an older version, it usually doesn't go out. It usually doesn't play nice. So there are people that have gotten this running in Trains 2012, I think. So, props to them for being able to do that, but that is not a recommended procedure with this route. This route is designed to just be downloaded by people who are running Trains a New Era from the download station, and all the assets will come with it, and then you'll be able to play on it. That's it. No frills. No.
So this section of the map is Tane, and you're gonna finish everything else
in 2019 or whatever the next version of the game is, because this is probably going to be my project for a very, very, very long time. This map is immense. Oh, that's what I didn't get to show you last time. The Tollbrand Plus map that I was just talking about. There is an inset in that map of everything that I've built so far. Like, it's an image of this map, but zoomed all the way out. And you can see how this compares with the whole drawn map. And the disparity is kind of daunting. At least for me, because I'm the guy building it. Alright. Before you say it's too bright, I'm going to go over it again. Yeah. I've really tried blending textures before. At least not to this kind of extent. At least not with a purpose, It's happened before. But never ever been like, yeah, I'm going to blend these textures. Until today. Okay, so let's put dirt along the side of this building. Yeah, this is going to be my project till I'm old and gray. This and the Iron Horseman Chronicles. Let me fill this in here right there. Okay, so we got this, we got some warehouses, we got some tracks. This area is shaping up nicely. I want a different kind of grass for this area here. This is like the tracks on top of it, grass. But I want another kind of grass.
You still eat grass.
Back to Mason's Landing. Where's my really green stuff? Here you are, Erba 3. It looks less bad once you get the grass on top of it. But maybe it's still not good enough. Because
Try that one.
That one? I'll try it. Don't touch the screen. Oh, I've used that before. I know where I've used that. I've used that in the super bleh trenches. The only problem I have with it is it feels like it's pretending to be 3D and it's really flat. And I just don't like it. I used to use it a lot, but these days I avoid it. That's bad. I don't like that. Evergreen Hillside.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, this is promising.
Although,
It tiles really quickly. That's the issue.
Go to common view.
Like down here?
Yeah.
We're going to be putting grass on top of it, so I
know.
wouldn't read into it too much. But FFR grass.
I like that better.
Yeah, this is a really nice texture. I'm hoping it's not Let me pull this up so that I don't screw this up, and then we're going to do another comment after this. Manage content. FFR. I feel like these are third party. I feel like they are. Because they look too good. Yeah, they're payware. Can't use it. Womp womp. How about, Ultra?
There was one that was built in.
Yeah, but it was not the FFR ones. All of these... Oh, well, there's Invisible Track that's FFR that was installed. But these are all trees and some other stuff. And this, which is not displayable for whatever reason. And I can't spell Ultra. Okay. Ultra Texture Farm Crop. Ultra Texture Seasonal Full Snow. These are download station. They're very nice. Looks very similar too, which is sort of an advantage. Are you okay? She's like porpoising over the side of the chair.
I'm so tired.
You don't have to stick around, you know. You can go home and go to bed.
I know, but where's the fun in that? I've been here for an hour and a half.
Going to bed.
You have about half an hour
Going
left.
to bed is fun. Because then you get to sleep.
I know, I have to
lastly,
be up at 7 in the morning.
Lastly, Matthew Bacon says, I'll cry some more. I have to do that every day. What would you recommend to an upstart route builder using TRS-12 like myself who wants to build stuff on this level of detail such as you? That's a difficult question, because...
Good luck and do it carefully.
Yeah, thanks. She knows. She knows me. That's a difficult question, though, because I feel like I sort of left 12 in the dust for Tane. And the thing with Tane is that I feel like it has many more options for looking good. TRS-12 is really not an impressive game graphically, and in Trains a New Era, they really stepped it up. So, I don't really know necessarily, but that doesn't mean there aren't things you can do. So, one of the things I would look at, obviously I'm going to plug myself because I'm terrible and I do that. If you look at some of the stuff that I built on the Iron Horseman route, that was all done, well, mostly done in 12. You know, particularly the early construction in that route. And a lot of that has pretty good detail. There are definitely things that you can use. I'm not, the Iron Horseman route is not exactly something that's freely distributed, but it was built almost solely in Trains 2012. So, I mean, that sort of explains why it looks crap at times. But there are ways you can get around that. There are ways you can get around that by using simplicity. One of the nicest looking areas on the Iron Horseman route is the Old Main and Lee's Line. Lee's Line is a much older piece of track, and it's one of the first parts of the Iron Horseman route that ever got built. Aside from the narrow gauge division, which, if I've mentioned this on the show before, but not in a while, the narrow gauge division of the Iron Horseman route is actually Weibold's old route, the Copper Mesa and Timber Peak, that we ported over to use for it. So how come it's not letting me, oh, because I have that in the search bar. And, yeah, and that was built in Trains Mac. So, it's old. It's real old. And it has a lot of issues. When we go to film on the narrow gauge, there's usually a lot of upkeep that has to be done before anything gets filmed, which is annoying. But that's what happens when you carry around a route with you forever. I'm certain it's going to happen when I move up this to Trains for 19. So, let's see. It's all about finding a few things and making things look really good. Now, I wouldn't say I'm the most detailed. In fact, I'm really not. I don't get in with all the minuteness. I would just spend a lot of time, especially because, you're in 12, you don't need to worry about, like, multiplayer compatibility and stuff. Spend a lot of time downloading things that are compatible with 12. Whether that be off CDP or whatever you can find, because I know a lot of the sites aren't... A lot of stuff you'll find these days is not really ready for that version anymore, I don't think. There were some things, or there probably are some things that you can get still for it. I'm not sure the download station works for 12 anymore. The thing is, right? The thing is, 12 has seen its day, and obviously I'm not going to say move up to Tane, because that's seen its day too. It's time to move up to 2019. Wait for it to go on sale, of course, because it's $70, and that's a bit pricey. But there's a lot more options as you go up, even just a little bit. Things like super elevation in Trains a New Era, and then things like the ground scatter in 2019, which, oh yeah, I need that. I can't wait for that. And then the 5-meter grid as well, which I don't think was an option in Trains 12. So that really helps. But using really nice assets, and then using only a few of them, and finding a combination that really works for you, will make things relatively easy. I was using a tree spline back in the day, and that really isn't the most premier thing. But it's something. It's good. It's good enough in a lot of cases. I wouldn't use one anymore, but that doesn't mean you can't get away with it in 12. So having a half-decent tree spline, the Maple Beach birch splines are not even half bad. They aren't great, but they aren't bad. They're just sort of like low poly, which is not really a disadvantage, necessarily. If you're going for a lot of detail, you're going to need every frame you can get. But decent ground scatter, decent grass, decent trees. You have access to speed trees in Trains 12. Make use of them. Looking out for assets, like I said, that are highly detailed, and then just using a variety of assets. Don't use the same house 5 times over in a row. Use alternating houses. Go on maybe a loop of them, or try to spread them out, or something like that. You need to use your imagination. No, but for real, you need to make sure that things have a lot going on, and it doesn't. See, this is external to the version of Trains, really. The thing with the different versions of Trains is, as you go farther back in time, you have fewer options, but that doesn't mean you have no options. The thing to making a detail route is, as you might expect, very literally the details. It is the houses, the fire hydrants, the telephone poles, all the little things that you see when you walk around or look around on Google Earth or stuff like that. If you want to build a detailed route, it doesn't really matter what version of the game you're in, as long as you can get all the stuff together. I couldn't tell you assets off the top of my head. I just don't know enough to be able to do that, and I apologize for not being as helpful as I could be. But the fact of the matter is, you don't need to know specific assets. A lot of the stuff that I have might be available in 12. Like I said, somebody backdated the route, and so most of this stuff is okay in 12. And yeah, I think the download station is disabled, which is unfortunate, but you'll just have to figure your way around that one. But yeah, no, I mean, spend time. Here's what you should do. Play some rounds of GeoGuessr. Play a bunch of GeoGuessr. Try to figure out where you are. But, turn the timer off. Try to figure out where you are, but at the same time, look around, take notes. Look at all the things you see, all the different places you end up in. Even better if you find a GeoGuessr map that is the area that you're curious about, or the area that you're building a route in, or whatever, there's a pretty useful one that's just the United States, and so you'll only get U.S. stuff.
I think it'd be funny if we got a GeoGuessr about like where our house is.
What, just Providence?
No, like literally it ended up
it
on our
dropped
street.
us there. Oh, okay, yeah. That'd be pretty funny. I don't think I've ever gotten dropped in Rhode Island in regular GeoGuessr, which is sad. But it's because it just picks it picks a random point in, in whatever the area is. So if I'm in the U.S., that's a lot of area to pick that isn't Rhode Island.
Rhode Island is tiny.
You'll get Hawaii more often than Rhode Island. And I've gotten Hawaii, and I had no idea where I was. Thank you.
You haven't had a drink this entire time.
I had one. One.
I did.
No, yeah, you did. I saw that, but I had one too. Drinking my water.
No.
Fight me.
Mate, come on, let's go. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to do this?
I saw this little post on Reddit for an app called Rumbler, which is like Tinder.
Are you fighting on rum?
No, it's Tinder but for fights. You just you find people to fight with.
So it's the opposite of.
It's the opposite of Tinder, but I'm not sure if it's a real thing. I wouldn't be surprised if it is, and that's hilarious.
You should put the darker texture on top of that. See what it would look like.
Top of what?
Like that texture you were using for asphalt? Is that it?
It says that. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It looks lighter.
Oh well. Nope. It is what it is.
No, it looks lighter.
It's not. It's the same texture. I grabbed it from over there. I assure you, it's the same texture. So, alright, one more comment. There is only one more comment?
I went through and I read all the comments, and that's what I was laughing at. I literally went to your video just so I could read the comments. Because I wanted to read them.
Oh, for goodness sake. Well, you can see my reactions to the other two on the last video. DT Cheney, which is the guy that did the route review, or he submitted his route for me to review. He says, "Hi, I was wondering how you make your AI train so what you want." I assume that means do what you want. "I'm trying to put AI on my route and having a hard time. Can you show how you do your AI and make it go the right way and stuff? It would be helpful. I was trying to talk to you on Steam, but you didn't respond on it." I'm bad at responding to messages on Steam, I'm going to be completely honest. I apologize if I wasn't responding to you. On Skype is better. On Skype is much, much better. And I will do my best to help you with issues regarding that. Let's see, how much time do we have? We've got like 10 minutes. How am I going to frame AI working on the thing? 1, how you use the track direction marker to make AI go the right way and go on passing track. How you did all your AI train on your route. Thanks. Okay, first things first. The direction marker is not that useful. In fact, I would say it's not even close to being mandatory for making AI work right. And even more than that, it might even be a hindrance more times than not. So I would use very tight track marks. That means decrease the radius of track marks whenever possible. Make them like 10 meters. They start at 20. And additionally, make sure that there is nothing left up to interpretation. You do not want the AI to be making decisions ever. You want to plan their routes for them and make them execute exactly that every time. If that sounds boring to you, I agree, but it's the only way to make it work in a foolproof manner, and even then it's really not foolproof. I have a recurring problem with the engine that does all the switching in Olive. It will try to pull into a track, it'll pull up to the track, it will not throw the switch, and then it will give up and drive the other way. And it'll drive away from the yard for a while, then realize it's going the wrong way, turn around, come back, try again, and maybe it'll make it that time. It usually makes it on the second or third try. Unfortunately, it's throwing off everything because it's a matter of uncertainty, and that's not something you want at all. at all. So, the biggest thing to do, different commands are one thing, but you want to keep your track marks tight. You want to make sure that the train only has to throw a couple of switches between one track mark and the next. There is a such thing as too many track marks, but it's hard to get there. And you want to make sure any large sections of junctions are controlled by interlocking towers. And not just regular interlocking towers. I'm talking advanced interlocking towers that you can get off the download station. They are a lifesaver. And the tower manager also really helps you troubleshoot stuff. So, if you get those two things, they'll help you out. But, yeah, track marks are your friend. That's the first thing. I noticed you had some track marks on your route when I did the route review. And you did have some AI trains, although they weren't functioning because of the missing assets. So, that's a shame. But, I didn't get to see how they were or weren't working. But I will assume that based on this, question, that they weren't working very well.
Or at all.
Or at all. The thing with that, you had a lot of very intricate main lines on your route, which is one of my favorite things about it. I gave it oodles of praise for feeling like a train playground where you can drive all over the place and there are a million ways to get anywhere. Honestly, it was loads of fun playing on that map. The issue with that is that means you have a lot of large interlockings. You have a lot of large areas where there are a lot of switches, and you could control those with towers, and it would make your life easier once you figured out how to use them. Now, that part can be tricky, I know. But I'll do my best to tell you or explain it to you or show you if you can catch me at a moment where I have free time to do so.
Ha, that's funny.
Yeah, I know. That's an awful...
You barely have time to spend with me.
That's an awful joke, but at the same time, I really love explaining this kind of stuff, and I love seeing the AI in action. So,
He's a geek.
I find it difficult to verbalize sometimes, but I can definitely make an attempt at walking someone through doing an interlocking tower. If there's enough call for it, I can do, given time, and this is something that I'd love to do anyway, which is, sort of an indicator that it's really difficult to make happen. I would love to do a Sunday driving geared more towards AI design and AI troubleshooting.
You said that already.
I know I've said that already.
You said that
at the beginning of the show. Yeah, I know. Well, it was because this exact person, D.D. Cheney, left a very similar comment on his route review about this AI help, and I was just thinking about that. But he's left a very similar comment here, so I'm addressing it twice. I would like to have an episode of Sunday Driving, or just a stream, basically, where I go through and I troubleshoot running the route. Honestly, something that I could do is if I have a day where I'm working from home, which I have it from time to time. Now that my car works, I don't have nearly as many of those. But, oh well.
I mean, you can always work.
You win some, you lose some. Yeah, but it's not preferred if I can go to work. I just don't have access to everything here. The internet's slower, stuff like that.
We now have 5G.
It's still a slower connection to the WSP servers. It's less... It takes more time to get anything done when you're working from home. You might be a little bit more efficient if you feel more comfortable, but sometimes that doesn't help because you feel more comfortable and so you slack off. It goes both ways. Anyway, if, and this is the big if, I am working from home in the not-so-distant future, one of the things that I could do, now that I know how to stream, that I considered but never executed before, was just streaming the train's AI. Because this route has about 2 or 3 hours of AI programmed onto it so far, it might be a good, not like manual, but an example of how AI should work, and all the different commands that should go into functional AI. And it includes some pretty esoteric things, like operating turntables, trains doing actual switching on their own, really, this pretty massive 4-track main line that I've got going on that works basically without a hitch at the moment until I pile more stuff onto it, and a functioning single-track line with trains running in both directions, which is another feat. It's another annoying thing to deal with. That's what you talked about on the, how do you make the train take the passing track? Well, you need to have, you need to have track marks. But I don't think having, in my personal experience, having a direction marker is not really recommended. I have them on Tolbrand, but I could probably remove them and nothing would change. And the reason for that is because the things that direction markers do are better done by other means. Track markers, interlocking towers, and this is the most important facet of using interlocking towers for AI, using a path selection command. Usually, when you set up an interlocking tower in-game, what happens is, you drive close to it, a giant ugly yellow circle appears on your screen that will never effing go away, and a pop-up appears saying that you're the lucky millionth viewer and you've won an iPad. Wait, no, that's the wrong website. It says, hot singles in your area. No, what it actually says is, here are the lists of paths that start at the signal that you're coming up to. Please pick one or pick the none button, in which point it will either select a path if you've picked a path, or it'll select no path, and it'll leave that signal red, or whatever the resting condition for that signal is. So, that's how an interlocking tower usually works. How does it work when an AI approaches? Basically the same thing. You get a giant ugly circle that will never go away, and the AI train gets to haggle with the interlocking tower for which way am I going to go. Sometimes that results in no deal and the train doesn't go anywhere, which is why that's not an ideal solution. The ideal solution is to have the interlocking tower never ask the train, where are you going? And have the train tell the interlocking tower, line this for me, and it'll do it. If you have the correct command set up, the interlocking tower will do it. So, that's the sort of crash course in how to make trains AI run well. That's sort of the mainline AI thing. That doesn't explain how to do interlocking towers. It doesn't explain where specifically to put track marks, and more importantly, where to put signals, because they factor in enormously, especially on a single track line. It matters a lot less on a double or quad track line, but it still does kind of matter, especially when approaching interlocking towers, if you want to make sure the trains keep at track speed, which I've not mastered yet. But it is, that's sort of the gist of it, and I will go and look at one of those trains in a second when I've finished painting this right here and looking over this area. So this is our handiwork for today. It's really not much, but it's honest work. We now have texture for that area and this area, and we have some sidewalks over there.
Are you doing the same thing that you did with the other parking lots to that one?
This one?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to leave this one, because this would be a much newer parking lot, a much newer building. This is actually a funeral home. Why is there a funeral home in the warehouse district? It felt like it fit. Now I'm going to leave this one the way it is, although I might add something around the edge here a little bit later. So here's our town. Let's go find a train. We've got to go back out to the main entrance. Main entrance to the ocean. There's an AI train there, but that one isn't helpful. That one doesn't have any interlocking stuff on it. Here's your candy corn. Or traffic cones. Or whatever you call them. Let me... Oh, that's right. You know what? I didn't even need to fly out here. But I want to because I want to know what I'm looking at. So, here are two AI trains. This one's kind of the star of the show. It's the only mainline freight we have so far. But this is just a regular passenger train. It is called... Well, the engine is Gilson Eastern Railroad 1151, which fits into the numbering scheme for this class of Pacifics on the Gilson Eastern. It also was a 4-digit number to fit with the fact that the 4-digit number on the cap here. It's not the same number because these don't have auto-running numbers, and also they aren't in that sequence anyway. It's also not reskipped, so, you know. Here's where you program. Anyone who's programmed anything knows that you go into here, but people that don't. So, you go into your rules, you go into driver setup, you go into here. First things first, if you don't have all the commands you want in this drop-down menu, there's another rule that you can go and find that will let you select and deselect rules. Also, we're already over time here, but this is 1105. Oh wait, no, not 1105. That was 1151, right? There you are, 1151. The session starts, you wait for 5 minutes, you set your priority, because I'm using priority markers. Also not really all that helpful, but I am using them. And then it sets the interlocking, which is right in front of it. This signal that it's looking at, and you know, you can't see anything because this window is in the way, but it's staring at a signal bridge. You can see it out of the corner of the screen there. Oh man, that's broken, I'm going to have to do a database repair. That's always fun. These signals are linked to the interlocking tower, which controls Mason's Landing. The train, before it even starts moving, it asks the interlocking tower for a path into the yard, which I've already pre-set up. That's something you have to set up yourself. Then it navigates to the station, with no frills. Unloads, loads, blows the horn, waits for its departure time, which is 6:14 a.m. Then, before it moves, lines an interlocking path out of the yard in that same direction. Drives onto the main line. That's the first track mark on the main line. Then this is the track mark right before the next interlocking. The moment it hits this, it tries the next command, which is set a path through that interlocking to take you off the express track, which is what it was on. It goes to the yard exit express. And then it takes you onto the local track. And then it goes into the station. That's the next thing it navigates to. Then it unloads, it loads, it waits until 6:35 a.m., at which point it departs the station, and the first thing it does is line the interlocking to leave the station, which it's staring at the signal for. It's less than half a mile away. Then it figures out how to get to the portal so it can commit Sudoku and leave the map. Let's go through that physically. This train starts at 5 minutes past 6, so 6:05. You'll notice that it has a red signal, or well, an H bar, which is a horizontal bar that, in Pensy terminology, is a red signal. It's the same damn thing. For people that don't read position lights, I'm sorry, this is going to be extra confusing for you. One of the things that the interlocking tower does is lower this bridge. It lines a path across the road here, which the gates will be part of it probably, crossing over to here, and then into this track here, including, I believe, this switch, but it might actually stop at this signal. Wait, where's the signal? Okay, no, it stops at this signal. So yeah, including that switch. So it lines a path into the station. Meanwhile, this train is back into the station. It comes in here, it unloads, loads. It also trips this trigger, which gets this train ready to leave, which that one goes down the branch. And then waits until 6:15 or whatever. Then lines a path. The path takes it through this switch, this switch, this switch, this switch, although I think it starts here, the interlocking path itself, and then onto the express track. The express track has a higher speed limit, so it goes on to this one here. This is the express track. So it sets that path. The track mark is here. Actually, no, sorry. The track mark is over here. It's at the slot bridge, signal bridge, right here.
Traffic codes.
Continues down this way. On these two tracks here, the inner one is the express track. It's speed limited at 79 miles an hour. Continues, if this would load, it'd be nice. Continues across the Great Swamp on all these berms and bridges. Across Bridgicus Maximus, when it wants to load. Doesn't matter, you've seen it before. Continues through here, and I can only tell where we are because of the spline points and the texture. Just because stuff doesn't want to load. Alright, Feels like we're loading. Through here. At some point it's going to go under the highway. That's right here. If we were traveling at 80 miles an hour, it would load a lot better, but we're traveling at like 500. Is this the signal bridge? Okay, so no, Dense Island. The Dense Island signal bridge is back here. Come on, where are you? It is right around this corner? Yeah, this is the Dense Island signal bridge. When it passes under here, there's a track mark under here. This is the second track mark that it had to go to. And then, the moment it hits that, whoa, it aligns these switches up here. There's a second signal bridge that's a half mile before the interlocking tower, which serves to mark out where you as a human will get asked where you're going. But it also allows the train to continue at like relatively track speed instead of slowing down before the interlocking tower realizes it's coming, or before it tells it. So it aligns this switch, this switch, this switch, this switch to this way to get onto the local track, and then continues on the local track. At this point it's navigating towards the station, underneath that bridge. Cross this bridge, cross this 4-track crossing, over here and into the Olive Station, which I assure you the rest of it is here somewhere. It's loading. We're in Olive. Oh man, this place is pain incarnate. This is one of the places where I'm looking forward.
Lag City.
Yeah, that's what I said. The whole damn map's Lag City now. But Olive is the worst of these so far. There should be a thing here and a building here and some stairs over here. Oh, there's the building. But yeah, it comes up to here. It loads, unloads, and then before it leaves, it tells the interlocking tower over here. Which there is a physical tower here, but the actual computer is in this thing, which this is invisible in regular play. So this is
a shipping box.
Yeah, this is the Oni Tower, the Olive North interlocking, and it lines a path to get from this track, which is where it's coming in, through this switch, through this switch, yep, across onto the express track, and then down. And then it leaves the map. It goes through here, it goes through here, it goes under the highway one more time, and then it reaches North Staging, which is an unscenic, empty portion of the route, which one of these days I'm going to put a backdrop here, so you can't see past it, and the trains just sort of phase through into nothingness. But then it'll drive this way, and it'll drive into these portals to leave the map. So these, we'll just take it off. It'll delete the train without, crashing it. But similar things happen for these trains, except they go in the opposite direction, and they use a command to delete themselves. So, all of these trains are programmed. Every single one of them, I think, maybe except for one or two.
Isn't Staging the name of a Minecraft map? Didn't you use Staging as like the name of a Minecraft map?
Staging is Minecraft.
I don't know. I swear you did.
Maybe I did, but I don't
It's
remember
like
what it
Minecraft
was for.
Spawn Town.
Yeah, Spawn Town, but not Staging.
That's what I thought. I thought it was.
I don't know. Maybe you're right. There have been a lot of Minecraft maps over the years. I'll say that much. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Trainman,
Madison.
out.